So on today's video, we took advantage of an exceptionally nice painting day, and we rescheduled a lot of the stuff we were going to do just so we could get the paint this afternoon, and the way it came out was just perfect. It's always worth waiting for a good day to paint. We've not had a lot of sunny, bright, nice days for painting, so taking advantage of it today. We got the Cromax blue painted. We got the clear put on top. Put it in the side to dry overnight, and at the end of the day we went to see the kids. They started the foundation for the new addition to their house, so it was quite an exciting day. Well, Karen got up this morning before me and checked the weather, and she said you better get your painting done today because we're expecting big snow tomorrow, 6 to 8 inches. You never know, sometime that's one flake, and sometime you'll be glad you got the snowblower all set, and we do. So having that delay with Amazon, I don't know what they did with our magnets. They're somewhere. And they're supposed to be here today too. Yeah, that was last 2 days they said that. Anyway, that little disruption of our schedule, it worked to our favor because now I've got these parts, the radiator sides in prime, and when I get back from the errands, it'll be an easy peasy job to paint them as long as it's not snowing or raining or something. And it's supposed to warm up this afternoon. It's not really a paintable day right now, but it will be in a couple hours, so we're going to get all our little errands done. Now, I always think it's good if you can keep everything on schedule and keep everything on track and everything comes on time. And to be honest, it's really my fault for not waiting until the magnets got here to work on those parts. I kind of got the horse ahead of the cart. Well, no big deal, but the fact that we're going to have a paintable day this afternoon, and then if we get snowed in or we have a problem with snow, that'll be an indoor day. So it's going to work to my favor as opposed to if I used up a good painting day to work in the garage and then on a day it snowed, I want to be outside. So it looks like it's going to work in our favor. So with the magnets coming today, we'll be able to finish this project up. If it snows tomorrow, and if it doesn't, we can still finish the project up, but we have a lot of choices now. Now, another thing that's thrown us a little bit of a curveball I got to work on is the fact that I don't have the windshield yet because I wanted to get that in blue before I moved on. But you know what? This project, like every restoration, it's already taken on a life of its own, and I've already replanned it so many times it doesn't even matter. Now, on some bikes like the FZR, I took the whole bike apart. I had parts everywhere, benches full of parts, and I just had in my mind's eye how I wanted it to be at the end. And it pretty much came out the way I wanted. That's not true with the MT09. With the MT09, I had a picture in my mind. John and I massaged it several times. We did a lot of concept Photoshop deals. I had originally thought I was going to do XYZ. It turns out to be a whole lot different. And I've concentrated basically on a lot of little details, like filling in the gaps in the frame. Little things that I think are going to make a big difference when I actually get time to do it. But today, to get those radiator sides painted, and if the sun even comes out, God forbid the sun comes out, I'll be able to see that in real life. That'll be real nice. But right now, Karen's ready to roll. We'll get this shopping stuff out of the way. Now, it's actually warm enough. We don't have any ice on a pond this morning, and no herons. So, seems like those little electronic things are working. Have not seen the heron since we put those in. And one more cup of coffee, it will be all set to go here. And our parts are drying under a heating vent. That's beautiful now that they're all dry. And you know, it actually is going to work in our favor because we're going to get these painted today for sure. But had we gotten the magnets on the day they said they were going to be here, I would have wasted, well, I would have had the horse ahead of the cart even more. Would have had the horse in front of the minivan or something. Anyway, we will get them painted today, but Karen always has the final vote on when we go shopping. We got some birds here this morning complaining that there's not enough seeds in the feeder. So while we're out shopping, I wanted to share a good tip, and it's something I learned. Karen got me a pair of these socks that have fur inside them from a place called Amazing Savings, and they really made riding in this cold weather a lot nicer. So it looks like it's warming up a little bit, and the first stop we're going to make is Amazing Savings. It's a pretty cool place. So we are matching boots here. Look at this. but we got something we're looking for today. There's these really cool socks they have at Amazing Savings. We're going to bite them out. So on our list today, one of the top items is these fancy fur-lined socks. So these socks we're looking for, I have one pair of them. They're great. They're absolutely great. And we're going to go back to this store hoping we can get some inventory. I really hope we can, because these are real. I'm going to put them on video if we can get some more. Now for cold weather riding, I've tried all kind of different socks. And even I had some electric insoles at one time. But these socks that I got from Karen, they're wonderful. Okay, now you gotta realize this is a giant store, but they have it. They have it. These are unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this in my life. When you go riding with these socks on, your feet never get cold. We're gonna bite them out. These are so good, and Karen wants to pick them out. They are so good, and this is the ones she likes. Let's see what they're, $5, $6 a pair. You want to get some for Stacy too, right?
Yes, you want to go into the fur inside.
These are priceless. And they have several different levels of, I guess, polarization or whatever. Some they have this lining, but the ones that I got, they have like a fur lining. I don't know if it's wool or whatever it is. But boy, for riding in cold weather, do they make the difference. My feet will never be cold and my belly will never be empty. Time to go paint. We're never going to be hungry and we're never going to have cold feet. What a concept. Now we're finally back from all our errands, and boy, if you only knew, when I ride in cold weather, the first thing happens, my feet get cold. And these socks, they have some kind of fur inside them or something. Somewhere down the road, I'm going to take one apart and cut it open and see what's inside them. They're wonderful. Anyway, $5, $6, whatever they are. Anyway, it's time to paint. This is with the Cromax that Dennis mixed up. The matching paint matched beautifully. Dennis, thank you. And we're ready to fire up the spray gun, and I'm ready to paint. It worked to our favor. Right now, anyway, the sun's just coming out. I can't believe it. We're really, for the one of the few times, usually as soon as you go to paint, the sun goes away and the wind comes up. But maybe it's a lucky day, who knows. And it was just, well, it worked out. Again, some things work out in your favor. That Color-Right could not supply this paint. They did not have the paint code. And so we wound up getting our own, I hope, supply of paint for the life of that bike. And actually, this is a pretty close match to the R1 too. And this paint is Cromax. You can look on the Cromax website or just do Cromax. If you go to YouTube and just type in the word Cromax, there's some really good educational things on how to spray and mix paint and whatever. Anyway, we're going to do a 50-50 mix. And that should get us enough to finish these parts off. I already put 3 ounces or 3 1-ounce cups in here. Now the other trick is really super, is really you got to shake this up. This paint has pearl in it, it has metallic, it has a lot of ingredients. So, now I don't know if you can see this, this is still the pearl that's at the bottom. No matter, I have shaken it for a few minutes. You've got to shake it till that whole bottom, it absorbs all that pearl, or else you're not going to get a good match. A critical step of, there we go, now little by little it's disappearing. And there you are, we're ready to paint. And a Cromax sprays out beautifully with the smaller spray gun, the Harbor Freight spray gun. Of course, the first coat is always dull. You don't get a lot of gloss on this, and you don't really get to see the final color until you get the clear on it. And actually, with the sunlight here, we may get a really nice view of the color match at the end of this whole operation. Okay, now you really can't see the color match, even though I know this is a very good color match, until I put the clear on. But this has to sit here half hour, 45 minutes while I'll mix up the clear and get it ready. But boy, we lucked out with a beautiful sunny painting day. Maybe thanks to Amazon, I don't know. Still didn't get my magnets yet. And I was just really hoping that this day would stay sunny until I got all the clear on. And as it turned out to be a really good day to paint. And I was very surprised because we have not really had a lot of bright sunny painting days lately. So here's the clear, and this is the leftover we have from, we're still using it, and thank you Joe Padula. Still using this. He supplied this with his, the Ducati from last year that we did the repair. And by the way, that's pretty intense repair for anybody who really wants to see how to bring back a fairing from the dead. So here's another tip. I always have a gun that's never had anything in it but clear. In this case, you can tell there's no paint on it. But anyway, it's a clear gun. And I never, the tip is in a jar of acetone. So I clean this. As soon as I'm done, I spray acetone through it, put the tip and the extra two pieces that go on the end, let them soak in clear. And what that guarantees, or hopefully guarantees, is minimizes the chance like a little drop of red is going to go out or something. If you've only put clear in the gun, even if it spits a little piece of dried clear, you can sand that out. But if it's red, you're dead. So then you've got a big repair. So this is a really good tip. Keep a clear gun. And by the way, this is what I have in the shop. People, and I know like Scott would appreciate this. There's a gun for red, a gun for yellow, a gun for white. These guns are cheap enough. A gun for black, a gun for... That's the Ducati red in there in case Joe needs it. And the blue gun that we just used. Dedicated guns, they're under 20 bucks a piece. It doesn't pay not to have them. And by the way, for people who don't know, we have extra guns. They're pretty much everywhere. There's, you know, when you've been painting for 60 years, you wind up with a lot of spray guns. Anyway, and the big thing is, thank you Harbor Freight. And I always have to mention, I always have to say to people, there's some people, even close friends, come over to the shop and they go, oh, your shop's a pig pen. Oh my God, everything's all over the place. It's a dirty, filthy place. How do you die? Oh God. And I've heard that so many times, friends and from people not quite friends. And then at the end of it, they look at the paint job and they go, holy mackerel. Well, you don't get any credit. This table and this, they're dirty. It's a work table. It's been painting for a lot of years. I wish I could peel up a 1/4 inch of this and, I don't know. Anyway, another tip, useful tip. When we're not using this on a daily basis like we are now, I keep it in the refrigerator, not in the freezer. And I try to keep track of the age of it. In this case, we know this is from Joe's Ducati, so it's not really something that I've lost memory of. But some of the other things like Mark Morgan's paints and stuff like that, well, I've kind of lost track of them, so it's a good thing I write on the cover, write on the can the age, and what project it went to. This is a 4-to-1 mix. We're going to get the clear on today. Now, there's another exciting thing today. It's happening today. They just started working on my kid's house. They dug something up there. They were digging with a backhoe. I got an email before, and I got invited over to see. They're digging a foundation of the extension on their house. And Karen responded. She said, it looks like they're digging for Jimmy Hoffa. Maybe they'll find him. I don't know. Anyway, this is a 4-to-1 mix. Stir it with something other than a wood stick. I've heard that both ways, by the way. And by the way, from people who really do know this stuff. They run body shops. People like Bob Brookins. But it's always good if you're not sure. Don't take a chance. Now, I mixed way more than I need. Because I want to get, my objective here is to get 2 coats on about 45 minutes apart. I've got 2 coats of blue already on. And I want to see if I need more clear. If I need the 3rd coat, I don't know if I will. These parts are kind of flat and even and, well, I think you get the picture. Anyway, this is a carbon fiber arrow shaft for stirring. We'll shake this up and we're going to be ready to paint in a matter of seconds. Well, again, you look at the skies are blue, not a lot of wind blowing, the paint laying out real nice. It was just under 40 degrees here in the afternoon. Just about perfect painting weather. I couldn't be any nicer than that. Paint laid out beautifully, and any dust that gets in it, we're going to buff it out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It didn't look like we had any contamination anywhere, and so I just put on the 2 coats, and it just couldn't have been nicer. This was like a magic day. I just can't believe how nice this day played. Now that's got to dry maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes. And we'll get 1 more coat on that. I think two coats. Now I spray these coats on very, very thin. Almost like you would with an airbrush. If you have the bigger gun just blows it right on. But this gives me a lot more control to keep the paint exactly the way I want it. And having the sunshine allows me to candle the paint. And it's just a better quality job at the end. Now I wanted with some of this in regular speed. This is the speed I normally spray at. But I didn't want that video to drag out to be a Gone with the Wind or something. So what I did is I put some of it in, this is fast forward. And then when a part is actually, you can look at it and candle it and see if it's got any runs or fish eyes or whatever. Having sunshine on a sunny day to paint metallics, the paint that has pearl in it, such a big advantage. And at the end of it, you can really look at it, see if it has any dry spots, any overspray, anything you need to correct. Such a big advantage to have a day like that. So this whole thing worked out better than I thought it would. We got all our clear on. The clear is drying. It'll be drying in the garage overnight. Tomorrow we'll go, or the next day we'll wet sand out the part and buff it out. So far it looks pretty good, but all I know is it's just going to be nice when this is all done. We really took advantage of a day. I didn't expect we were going to be able to take advantage of it. It just worked out that way. And if those magnets don't come by tonight, I'm just going to reorder them, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, it really does look nice. The paint looks great in the sun. And Karen, we're going to run over to the kids' house. They're digging a foundation for the extension the kids are putting on the house, and I want to see how that's coming out. As much as I hate construction work, I've done a lot of it in my lifetime. It's better they're doing it than me. So these parts will dry out in the garage overnight. Maybe bring them into the house tomorrow, put them under a heating vent, see how the weather plays out. Big thing, of course, is how much snow we're going to get tomorrow, if any, and where are my magnets. So I'm on the way to the kids' house to see their construction project. Look who shows up with my magnets. So we're at the kids' house. I guess they're working already. So what's happening is the back's getting ripped off the house. They're ripping up the deck and putting the foundation in today. Pretty cool. This brings back memories of all the houses I've renovated. I'm glad they're in the past. Is he wild again? Oh my God, he's a wild animal again. Oh no, hey, you got me all tangled up here. Oh God, you're a wild animal. What's going on? So we're looking at the back window. Their 52-foot deck is now a 32-foot deck. Tommy said you're going to do some of the digging. Is that true? You got to learn how to do the digging here, baby. Look at that footing. Wow. Hey, there's Mommy. Oh, this brings back some memories. Ay, ay, ay.
Can I use this one to cross or no?
Miles, you could get hurt there. Don't fool around. Don't play there.
Cat, you done? Yeah.
So this is going to be a, you can see how big the extension is going to be here. Wow. Amazing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Okay, buddy, I gotta go now. I gotta go. You want to kiss me goodbye? Now, after seeing the kids having that project underway, it reminded me of when we had the porch put on our house. And I had, in my lifetime, I've owned 3 houses that have all been over 100 years old and all needed major construction and all the lath ripped out and sheetrock put in, plumbing replaced, electric. This house happens to be one of them. I've been working on it for 30 years. When it came time to do the deck, though, I was just getting too old for this kind of work, and some of my friends that had helped me in the past had already passed away. So we decided to hire these people. Lee Costa is the guy's name. And I designed this up with the help of an architect, and I drew plans for it. Well, the building inspector rejected the plans. He said it was not good. I went and redrew the plans. There was another thing with the easement. I made 4 sets of plans. And then the building inspector at the time finally said, you know, I would really like it if you work with my friend who's an architect. Though, you know where that's going. Anyway, we had to pay a lot of money to this guy to get the thing approved. We ran into all kinds of problems with the building inspector, and things were an inch too big or an inch too high or whatever. If you look at these pictures, you can see it was really not funny. So, but anyway, I never lost confidence in the fact that when this was done, we would have a nice addition to our house. Karen was very excited about it. We had agreed that the gazebo that you see off to one side would be very nice. And this went over the course of several months. And there's several side stories to this. But because the kids are going through it now, I can kind of feel their pain. Because I remember how many nights and all the digging and all the wood and all the stuff. Another cool thing is the balusters for the railing. They delivered the balusters raw wood. And the guy that was doing the job, the guy that was going to install the railing, his helper said, you know, these balusters are really a lot of paint work. We're going to have to charge you an extra $1,500 to paint the balusters. And I said, give me the balusters, I'll paint them. He said, oh, but it'll take you 2 weeks to paint them. Oh my God, and this was really cold weather. Now you can see the balusters going up. Well, I started on a Saturday morning, and Sunday night they were done. And there were, I don't know, 150 some balusters to this job. We had extras and everything. That was another funny side story. But as it all went out, the railing, the gingerbread came from Texas. We had the gingerbread custom made, special made. And Lee Costa did a fabulous job. This porch has changed our life. Pretty much all summer we sit on a porch. We socialize with the neighbors. We have our coffee out there. And as I look back, and I know what's going to happen to the kids, is somewhere down the road, and they're taking a photo log just like I just shared on this video. And I encourage them, look at it and take pictures every day. And 20 years from now, which is probably the time we are here, you'll really be glad you took the pictures. Now, in the case of my restorations, I'm always happy I have the videos, and we post something up pretty much every day. But as an example, any one of the bikes, I can go back here, just the FZR, and look at any part of that restoration. And repairing fairings, fixing tabs, paint work. It's enormous how much stuff is out on the channel. And again, we do post something every day. I've been able to share a lot of what I've learned, and I've learned most of what I've learned the hard way, not the easy way. Not taking a college course and getting a diploma. You learn it the hard way, is you take a hammer and hit yourself on the thumb. So if you enjoyed the video, I hope you share it with your friends. And of course, I hope, most of all, that we'll see you tomorrow. And thanks again for watching.